Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. In this video I talk about the future of ships, the engineering profession, and a little bit about salvage as well. Do make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you want to be in with a chance to win a Mantis standalone ship, courtesy of one of my channel members, the Doctor. Also, just comment below with what you're excited for the future of Star Citizen, and I will pick a winner on the 27th of this month. So, a long while ago, Cloud Imperium spoke about the piping system. Now, this was the original thought behind how all of the ship's components will communicate with each other to basically allow your ship to function. This will also apply to locations like space stations and outposts, all of which will have components providing power for the lighting, for life support, and gravity as well. Well, Cloud Imperium decided that this piping system doesn't encompass the system as a whole, so they are now working on something they call the Resource Generation and Item Control System. Now, this system controls all of the items and resources on board your ship, like power, CPU, your fuel, coolant, even your ammunition. It's literally everything. Now, each item and component will interact with each other if it needs something. So, for example, your shield generators will output the shields, but to do this, it requires power. So it will draw power from the power plant, and as it does so, both the power plant and the shield generators will generate heat. So then it's the cooler's job to keep these items cool so that they can function optimally, and so on and so forth. So basically, each component working with the other to create the overall flow of resources the ship needs to function. Now, this will be built using what Cloud Imperium called the What You See Is What You Get editor. The example they gave was a designer will be able to link up all the resources together using a visual editor screen rather than the sort of traditional XML database, which really helps speed up the production of the system and makes it so much easier to understand. Now, I'm very excited for this system, as it actually affects everybody. If you own a ship, which you will at least own one just to play the game, then this system is going to affect you. And once it is implemented, ships are going to feel way more alive. So, an example they gave was, if you have no fuel, then you won't be able to generate power. And so if you have no power, then you'll have no CPU, which means you won't be able to generate your shields, and so on and so forth. They said this will then create cascade failures, and the engineer will need to go and repair the items and get them back online, or reroute the power using different relay nodes. This will make the engineer an extremely valuable member of the crew, and if you want your ships to fly well, you will need a competent engineer to ensure all is running smoothly. And if the mining mechanic is anything to gauge the way Cloud Imperium implement these mechanics into the game, it'll be fun, it'll require a lot of practice and training, but ultimately it'll be rewarding. Now, on the smaller ships, it'll likely be a much easier system to understand, and I personally will probably start with my Aurora LX to just learn the basics before moving on to bigger ships. Having single size one items will help to understand the process of what's going on and help to get to grips with the system before you begin to introduce larger components or multiple of each component. To be honest though, it's very difficult to picture how this system will function for us on the front end. Mining was nothing like what I expected it to be, so I don't know what approach Cloud Imperium will take. I am happy that they mentioned the what you see is what you get method of implementation, as that should make a lot of the system instinctive, but I do see it being a very hands-on and physical system, literally grabbing the component and removing it, then popping it on the side to repair it or replacing it with a new one to get the system back up and running as soon as possible. We have heard an example that Cloud Imperium used in regards to life support. So if your oxygen is getting low on board the ship, the player will then need to go over to where the life support is located, open up the panel, physically remove the oxygen bottle, and if it's got a leak, patch it up there and then. If it is just empty, then you replace it and get it going again. As mentioned earlier, space stations will also use this system, and if you manage to get yourself inside a derelict space station, or even a derelict ship for that matter, one priority would probably be to make your way to engineering, find the power plant, the gravity generator and life support, and just try and get them back up and running as quick as possible before exploring, just to make life a little easier on you. This resource generation and item control system will also be a major prerequisite for salvaging. In order to salvage a ship of its resources, there needs to be the resources to actually salvage. Once this system is complete, components can then be physicalized, items can be removed and salvaged and sold on, or you could fix up the ship to a certain degree, tow it back to a port and probably repair it or sell it on. Now, I'm quite confident that they will be able to get tier 0 of this resource generation and item control system this year. It might be a bit of a big ask, but currently the design for this has been done and the directors like it and they are giving it the go-ahead. They have done a little prototyping already, but we'll definitely want to do a bit more later on. And right now they are creating the technical documentation in which the programmers sit together and try to imagine all the structure and architecture of the code that this system will require. Because this system will affect so many areas of the game, they said it needs to be done properly from the beginning. Once the coders have built it, it'll then go to the lead programmers and technical directors, and they will read it and approve it to ensure that it doesn't change anything unintended and make sure that it is scalable and efficient to run. Once approved, they will then build it out properly. It was also mentioned in the latest monthly report that they have created design documents and high-level plans for a number of exciting large-scale initiatives that will be hitting the PU in the near future and beyond. Now, they didn't specify what, but I really hope and actually suspect that one of those systems is the resource generation and item control system. But that is the current known information on what Cloud Imperium are doing to create the engineering mechanic and how important of a system it will be. It will be absolutely incredible when this system is implemented and our ships have more behavior based on so many possible factors. The idea of having to work out what is going wrong may seem a little daunting to some people, but personally I love the thought of being that engineer on board and trying to troubleshoot what the issue could be and then resolving it as quick as possible. That type of gameplay is exciting to me. But with that said, do let me know what you think about this new system, about engineering. Make sure you subscribe for more videos like this on Star Citizen and tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. Also, hit that like button if you're excited for this kind of content and come and hang out over on twitch.tv/supermacbrothers. I stream 4 days a week and we always have a good laugh. Thank you again to my patrons, to my channel members and for all the support. Thank you for watching and I will see you next time.